Well, the Phillies failed to sweep the Marlins once again. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies On Social Media to recap tonight's game between the Phillies and the Miami Marlins as the Phillies lose 5-3 to the Marlins as they fail to sweep this 3-game series. But, of course, they still do settle with a series win, which is still very, very nice. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So notice Syndergaard gets smacked with a loss tonight. Now 9-10 in the year. He allows 4 earned in 6 innings. So he wasn't really that good tonight, and I tell you one thing that also wasn't very good tonight was the Phillies offense. Of course, Kyle Schwarber hits his 38th home run of the season, which ties his career high in home runs. So he did hit 38 back in 2019 during his time with the Chicago Cubs. Bryce Harper hit a home run last night, did absolutely nothing tonight. And JT Muto hit 2 home runs last night, right? A solo shot and a 3-run shot, goes hitless. So a lot of inconsistencies tonight for this Phillies team, and we honestly should have swept the Marlins last week at Citizens Bank Park, and we didn't do it. And we had another chance here to do it, this time at Lone Depot Park in Miami, and we didn't do it. I just kind of had a strange feeling that we wouldn't. But still, one heck of a performance against the Marlins this season. We really took care of business against them, right? I mean, something we didn't see, the past 3 to 4 years. That is for sure. So I'm still more than happy with the way we played against this Marlins team. I'll say it like that, right? I'm very, very content with this. So we still head into this Atlanta Braves series this weekend with an 80 and 63 record. So still sitting 17 games over that 500 mark. I'm still very happy with that. But of course, you don't want to sound too greedy, but you think like, hey, we could have been 81 and 62. As we pick it up here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Jordan Grossom's homers on a fly ball to left field is first of the season, and it's 1-0 Miami. So Noah Syndergaard allows 2 home runs tonight. I mean, that would be his first one. Of course, the second one would be much more damaging. So the Marlins now have a 1-0 lead. I mean, runner at third, nobody out, and we did not get the job done. So I mean, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But unacceptable. It's something we see time and time again. Let me pick it up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brian De La Cruz homers on a fly ball to center field, a 3-run blast. It also scores Gary Cooper and JJ Bleday. And it's now 4-0 Miami. So when the Marlins went up 4-0, I'm thinking like, I'm not really feeling too confident about this one. The Phillies offense wasn't really showing much life up to this point. Went through 4 innings, nothing, absolutely nothing. So I kind of got the vibes in the air from the friend of the pod, Jack Fritz, feels like a loss. That was kind of popping in my head. So Cruz's 9th home run on the season gives the Marlins a 4-0 lead. And we pick it up here in the top of the 6th inning. Kyle Schwarber gets the Phillies on the board as he homers on a fly ball to right center field. His 38th of the season, a solo blast for Schwarbs, and it's now a 4-1 ball game. So Kyle Schwarber ties his career high in home runs back in 2019, right, with number 38. So Kyle Schwarber, certainly in need of that one, right? I mean, he's just hitting the occasional home run. All he does is just hit home runs. That's pretty much all he does. And maybe walk sometimes. Of course, he should be walking more than he is right now. His walk rate at the beginning of the season was very impressive, but his walk rate, how it's been over the last few months or so, not very impressive. I've pretty much been very vocal about it, and of course, I was off of Marlins starter Pablo Lopez. Then we pick it up here in the top of the 7th inning. Brandon Marsh, who had a 4-hit night tonight for the Phillies. Doubles on a sharp line drive to center field, his 13th double of the season. Bryson Stott comes around to score, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. So in back-to-back innings, we cut the score in half. And we only trail 4-2. So I'm like, hey, we're starting to kind of get back in this game a little bit. I actually kind of had some optimism. I'm thinking like, hey, I think we could do this. We pick it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brian De La Cruz does again as he hits a sacrifice fly out to left field. Joey Wendell comes around to score. 5-3 Miami. And it's now 5-2 Miami. So they now get a nice insurance run, and they get one of those runs back. So at that point, I'm thinking, like, I don't think we're going to win this game. Of course, it was off of Sam Coonrod. After that top of the 7th inning, the Phillies offense just continued to just show signs of not really being in the game. And that would be your final 5-2 Miami as they unfortunately salvage this final game of the 3-game series as they did last week at Citizens Bank Park last Thursday, to be exact. Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot. One knock tonight. It was the solo home run number 38 on the year, as he also draws a walk, a 214 average for Schwarber, as the RBI total now climbs up to 8. 794 OPS for Kyle Schwarber. Still, having a good season. He was having a really good season. I'll say it wasn't great. He's still having a really good season at the time of the All-Star break. But now it's just good. I wouldn't say it's really good. Still 38 home runs with 214 average. I don't really look at average as much as I used to, but that does kind of sound a little goofy. Gene Segura gets to start out of the two hole and goes hitless as he strikes out twice. He's not a good hitter at the top of the lineup, but I do like Rob Thompson, kind of switching it up a little bit. And of course, he had to, because that is Reese's spot. We all know that Reese is still day to day. Of course, he'll be back tomorrow in Atlanta, 7:20 the first pitch. After being hit last night by a pitch right on the hand, right? He did bruise his hand, and x-rays came back fine. But it's just precautionary, and I like that. Bryce Harper, he was the performance tonight, but he was able to draw a walk. He also goes down and strikes once as well, a 305 average for Harper. Every time I look at it, it just seems to be getting lower and lower and lower. And hopefully he can finish out this season with an above 300 average. I mean, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't, but he's just dipping and dipping and dipping and dipping. He's not been very productive. And JT Muto, he hit his performance tonight. That's what I'm talking about with this team. It's just so inconsistent sometimes. It's like night and day. It's 2 home runs last night, the solo shot and the 3-run shot. And then he comes back the very next night and has an 0 for 4 night. I understand that's his life, and Johnny can have a great day and then come back the next day and not have a good day at all. And Alec Bowman hit his performance tonight as he goes down and strikes twice. Alec Bowman, in my opinion, I've expressed before, not as good as everybody says he is. 289 average, going with a 730 OPS. When you're hitting 289, your OPS should be higher than 730. And I hate to beat up on a guy, but I've been very vocal about it. I mean, I like Alec Bowman, but I wouldn't say I love Alec Bowman. I mean, his defense, you can't trust him as a defender. He's a little bit of a deceiving player at times. He doesn't walk a whole lot, and he doesn't slug a whole lot either. And that's why his OPS is 730. And a guy that's hitting 214, almost has an 800 OPS, while Alec Bowman is nearly hitting 300, 11 points shy of 300, and his OPS is 730. So about 70 points lower than a guy that's hitting 214. And that's kind of a message to everybody that always wants to just look at a batting average. It doesn't tell the whole story. OPS really tells the majority of the story, in my opinion. Of course, not really the case. We go take a look at a guy like Gene Segura. OPS isn't a good stat to measure a guy like Gene Segura. I will say that. I mean, that's the exception to the rule, in my opinion. But OPS still the stat to go by, in my opinion. Bryson Stott, 2 knocks tonight, as he was able to collect a double, his 16th of the season. Also was able to collect a single as well, scoring 2 of the Phillies' 3 runs. A guy that really had a productive night was Brandon Marsh, a 4-hit night, as he collects a double, his 13th of the season, also collects a triple, his 4th of the season. Drives in 2, a 242 average now for Marsh, and it seems like he's a much better hitter away from Citizens Bank Park. 49 RBIs now in the season for him, a 670 OPS. Over his last 7 games, he's hitting 400 with a 400 on base percentage, a 680 slugging percentage. Over his last 15 games, a 340 average, a 340 on base percentage, and a 566 slugging percentage. And over his last 30 games, a 300 average with a 316 on base percentage and a 475 slugging percentage. What in the world has gotten into this guy? It's been very quiet. No one is really talking about Brandon Marsh and what he's been able to do the last month, and it's really been something incredible. Of course, he missed some time, very briefly on the 10-day IL, but of course this is kind of like some non-consecutive playing time, but he's still been quite productive, that is for sure, more so than Matt Vierling has been. And speaking of Matt Vierling, it was performance tonight out and right, and why was Matt Vierling starting tonight? Nick Maton should have been starting. There's a right-hander on the mound. Nick Maton hits very well off of right-handed pitching. Matt Vierling is terrible against right-handed pitching. Why in the world was Matt Vierling starting out in right field tonight? It just makes no sense. Of course, Munoz Sosa gets to start at third and goes hitless as he goes down, strikes once as well. Nick Maton collects a single. He came in the ballgame later to take over for Sosa at third. And, I saw somebody say that Munoz Sosa, there you go, he's back to his old ways. I mean, you really think that he would have kept that up? I mean, we all expected him to go back down to earth. I mean, we all know that he wasn't going to keep doing that. I don't even care. He really carried us there for a little bit. Even last week against the Marlins, he was a big reason as to why we even won that series. Another thing that no one really ever talks about. Noah Syndergaard, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 were earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, allows 2 home runs, a 4.18 ERA. As I talked about before, like a million times, he's a much different pitcher than he used to be. He needs to come up with a new pitch. You know what I mean? He just, I think he's going to probably have to do that this offseason. Of course, a 4.18 ERA isn't bad for a guy like Noah Syndergaard, but he's like night and day. We can take a look at the way he pitched, 3 years ago and the way he pitches today. Night and day. Night and day. Of course, now he's past Tommy John at the age of 30, and Tommy John affects everybody differently. Like I've said like a million times, Zach Wheeler actually threw harder after Tommy John. His stuff, he's just, throwing changeups down the middle part of the plate. It's just like, he's just not locating well at all. Honestly, he doesn't have a whole lot to work with. He's a pitch to contact out guy right now. He's not the strikeout guy he once was. He doesn't have that overpowering stuff like he once did. Andrew Bellotti an inning as he walks 3, and luckily for him, and he was able to get out of that. My goodness gracious, a 3.33 ERA for Andrew Bellotti. And Sam Coonrad an inning, 1 hit, 1 run reserved, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. This was just a flat loss. It was a very boring game. Very boring game. And it seems like, even though we did win the series and we played pretty well against the Marlins overall this year, 100% we did, especially compared to prior seasons, it's just so boring to watch a game at Lone Depot Park. There's just no excitement. That is just like, it's so undesirable to want to even go to a game at Lone Depot Park. How in the world is that appealing to anybody? That stadium is just snoozer. It puts me to sleep. Absolutely no desire to go down there and watch a baseball game at Lone Depot Park in Miami. I just have zero desire to go and do it. That stadium just seems so dull to me. And, if somebody that's been there and maybe disagrees with me, comment down below. Do you disagree with my take on Lone Depot Park? I've never been there, but just seeing pictures and hearing a lot about it and hearing from people that have been there and seeing it on TV about 8 to 9 times a year, it doesn't really look like a very appealing place. That is for sure. So that would be your final, of course, 5-3 Miami. So we open up this really crucial 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves this weekend at Truist Park. 7:20 the first pitch tomorrow night. Rangers Suarez 9-5 with a 3.62 ERA. Going against Max Fried 13-6 with a 2.50 ERA. Of course, we have to go against their ace. Of course we do. Aaron Nolan 9-11 with a 3.31 ERA, going against Jake Odorizzi 5-6 with a 4.15 ERA. Of course, he was acquired in the Will Smith trade. Of course, Slita's favorite player, Will Smith. I know he's really missing Will Smith. Right? That's just obviously some funny sarcasm right there. Of course, Will Smith, one of his least favorite Braves. That is for sure. I will be going live with Slita, David, on Saturday night. I don't know what time it's going to be, but I did agree to go on just about an hour ago. And 1:35 the finale on Sunday. Bailey Falter gets to start 5-3. The 3.80 ERA, going against Spencer Strider 10-5 with a 2.72 ERA. So, oh my gosh. We have played, pretty good against the Braves this year. Of course, we do have a 500 record against these guys. But it's not going to be easy. This is the defending World Series champions, a team that's only a half game back from the New York Mets. They've still overall been playing pretty good baseball. If you want my honest opinion, I think we're just going to win 1 out of 3. Just look at who they're throwing out there. You got Max Fried, Jake Odorizzi, and then you got Spencer Strider for the final game. This is going to be a tough series, the toughest series we've had probably in a while. That is for sure. Probably the toughest series we've had since that New York Mets 4-game series, almost a month ago, nearly a month ago. Think about that. Since that 4-game series, we played the Reds, the Pirates, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Marlins, the Nationals, and the Marlins. So we've had quite the easy schedule. Of course, now after this, we're going to be playing the Braves, Blue Jays, Braves again, Cubs, who swept us at the bank in July, as I mentioned before, and the Washington Nationals again at Nationals Park, and then the Astros to finish out the season. So this is not going to be easy. And I don't think anybody ever said it was going to be easy. So we have to take care of business. So guys, that is pretty much it. I am pretty disappointed, but it is what it is. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. Phillies Outso Media, Instagram, follow me on Twitter at Outso Media. Card text 267-225-3292. Email me, philliesousomedia@gmail.com. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phils. I'll see you guys.